Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Quark. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the 50 waitresses? Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Dare to make war? We surrender. Important news are needed new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a seaport planet. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look, these three words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday for November 4th, 2020. Qapla, everyone. And yes, I know you're all thinking, how is Mamo Prey? Mamo Prey is still doing good, on the mend, keeping it easy, taking things easy as she needs to. We are doing okay. We had a good night, a very good night, a good day, and knock wood, we'll have some more good times with Camille is here. Thank you much. Thanks, of course, to Camille. Sassy actually got to accept the new woman that came over during the day today, and I was shocked. Sassy, the soonest anybody Sassy has ever warmed up to any other person is 2 days. 2 days. Now it was 2 eggs that she had to give her, 1 each day, 2 lunches, and a couple of snacks, but eventually Sassy did warm up to her and actually went over and let her gave this woman the honor of massaging Sassy. So I was shocked. A small miracle today in Karoga. That's what's going on. So I'm confident. I hope at least we can get through this episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 4, Episode 7, Starship Down, which is quite a memorable episode. I certainly remember many of the details. There's the most memorable thing is probably the photon torpedo that breaches the Defiant in the Gamma Quadrant. There's this alien race, the strange alien race, that's doing business with the Federation without the Dominion's permission. but they're going through the Ferengi, so they have to bring Quark along to go to the Gamma Quadrant. Sisko gets injured, so Worf has to take command. Worf and O'Brien have a few words because Worf doesn't know how to order around engineers, apparently. And Dr. Bashir and Dax get to play 7 Minutes of Heaven in a locked closet. Although I suspect nothing much happened. So let's get to the chat. And it left my screen, but I know the first chat I saw was from who was the first? What was the first chat? Okay. I did copy it just in case I forgot it. I didn't want to lose it completely. Where did I put it? Josh Street. Of course it was Josh Street. Josh Street says 4 more years of El Presidente, Berto Prey 5, leader of Kling Orc. No. This is none of that is true. Okay, I am not El Presidente. I'm not a Kling Orc leader. Josh Street, you're breaking my heart, Josh Street. Okay, but let's get on to the non-El Presidente comments. Carlo Albanese, Qapla, Carlo Albanese says, Hail Quiroga, absolutely. 47 Yorktown says, Hail to Mamo Prey, absolutely. Hail to Mamo Prey, not Ryan Johnson. Says, hello in Qapla, Hail Quiroga, Hail Mamo Prey. There you go. Both in one sentence. Josh Street says 4 more years of again, he says it, of El Presidente, Berto Prey 5 of Klingok Kronos. Thomas Pott says, let's go already. I need a nap, which is weird because I didn't do much today, but watch James Bond. I'm getting old, maybe watching Anti-Tracker. Maybe too much watching Anti-Tracker. Maybe when Anti-Tracker puts out actual videos, it can get you tired. Pflugerville says, I can't watch Anti-Tracker too much. I don't have the tolerance. That's okay. Okay. You can use it. You can do Anti-Tracker in small doses. Thomas Potts says, Vertebrae, since it's your birthday next week, I'm going to list videos of you on Space Engineers each day next week. Well, thank you, Thomas. That's so kind of you. Captain Trax is Vertebrae, but you're already over 30 minutes late. No, lies. I was 30 minutes early. I set this for 5 p.m. and I started at like 4:32. Okay, that's almost a half hour early. Carlo Albanese says, hiya, and hope everyone is as well as can be. Carlo, I hope, was it your arm, Carlo? I hope your arm is doing better. And Resolute Germ, if you're here, I didn't get to you yet. I hope your leg is doing better. Carlo's got a busted arm. Resolute Germ's got a busted leg. I shudder to think what Thomas Potts is going to bust. Thomas says, what? He ended the timer with 27 seconds. 27 minutes left unsubbing. No, it was 27 minutes early. Because you people complain I'm always late. Dan23 says, you're going early. Yes, Dan. I figured since I was feeling good and seem to have the time now, I might as well get this started. William Jackson says, good day. Qapla, William Jackson. Good to see you here, my friend. Bradley Briggs says, zup, y'all. Zup, Bradley. And of course, for those who have never been here before or don't remember, if you want to watch the actual Deep Space Nine episode, you have many choices. First, if you have it on DVD, that's awesome. Otherwise, if you have a streaming service like Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or CBS All Access, they all have it. And finally, the best option, perhaps, is to just come watch it in the Berto Prey 5 screening room. The link is right under my name in the middle of the screen, over there. http://bertoprey5.com/SR. Now, go to that in a new tab or a new browser window or a different browser. This way you can have both YouTube and that open, so the commentary can come through YouTube and the actual video and audio of the episode will come over the screening room. And you'll be watching my copy of the episode with me as if you were here virtually. So that is what we do. Now, that's only available if you're watching this live. If you're watching this recorded at a later date, then you have to bring your own copy of the movie, of the episode. That's just how it works. Thomas's Bird of Prey added his hit list on top. No, I didn't add his hit list. I didn't add my hit list. LDG Pixels says, hey all, Qapla LDG Pixels. And he says, hey Bird, welcome LDG, first citizen of Karoga. Joseph Patrick says, greetings from the future, Qapla. Joseph Patrick, first friend of Karoga. Resolute Germ says, hi everyone, Qapla Resolute. I hope your leg is feeling a little better. Keely Chow says, hey everybody, Qapla Keely. Yeah. Pflugerville says, Qapla peoples. Absolutely, Qapla to all the peoples. Mako says, hello everyone, Qapla Mako. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, have you seen that they have made a microscopic model of Voyager that can move around in a liquid using chemical process? Nanite technology is on its way. I have not seen about that, but that's interesting. I'll probably look it up. Thank you, Carlo. Springtime, if you are here or you are watching, I did see that video of the puppies you sent to my Discord. And yes, it was a very cool distraction. Thomas Potts says, LDG, hello. I hope you and your family are doing better today. Remember, you have us crazies to help support you. Yes, LDG, I don't know how much of it is public, but I heard about what happened, and I am so sorry. I hope everything is okay. And if there's anything I can do, besides remind everybody that on Friday, you're going to have a 9+ hour live stream starting at 3 p.m. Eastern of the last episodes of the of Deep Space Nine, the Dominion War, and you'll be fundraising and eating lots of hot sauce, chips, and the hottest gummy bear 9 million Scoville challenge as you raise money. So if there's anything else I can do, you let me know. Keely Chow says, Qapla. Positive Candor says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, tell Mama Prey to please take it easy, and we all love her very much. I will remind her, Positive Candor, if she didn't hear. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey, you have a new woman. The woman who comes over to help me, I think it's a title is Health Aid, Home Health Aid. I'm not 100% sure the actual title. So she's a fine Irish woman. Yeah, I started to pick up her accent a little, and I had to tell her, I was like, listen, I'm sorry, I hear myself pronouncing words in an Irish accent. She laughed. I was like, I'm not trying to do it to insult you. I'm sorry. It's just the way I am. I hear the language. My body just repeats. I was like, honestly, I'm known for my terrible accents online. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. No, I read that. Mako says, Sassy is a very cool name for a dog. Thank you. We didn't actually give her the name. She came with the name from Austin, Texas. Actually, not Austin, Texas. My sister happened to be in Austin, Texas for a job seminar. She actually went to a farm about 100 miles outside of Austin to pick Sassy up. Star Trek Nitpickers says DS9 and Bird Rule. Qapla, Star Trek Nitpickers. Thank you. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, thanks for letting me chill out on your couch and see DS9. As always, I'll clean up when I leave so Mama Prey doesn't have to. Well, I'll tell you, Carlo Albanese, Mama Prey is not cleaning up this week. Even if you didn't clean up, because we would have either Camille or if it was during the day, we'll call her. I don't want to give out her name, so we'll call her Mrs. Darth, and she's Irish. Mrs. Raven. Yeah, it would be her or Mrs. Raven who would be cleaning up, because we don't want Mama Prey to actually have to bend down and do things like that. Positive Candor says Sassy sounds way better than Lassie. Just saying. I think Lassie's a good name. I'm not going to put Sassy up against Lassie. Resolute Germs is food the way to any good doggo's heart. Absolutely. Although, didn't work much for Lori when she tried. Just Sassy wasn't in the mood. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird of Prey, a miracle in Karoga, another sign of the coming apocalypse. We are doomed. No, we're not. We will survive whatever the politics, whatever the results are, we will survive. Okay? And we'll make it. We will get through whatever it is that we need to get through. Bradley Briggs says, food is also a great way to any man's heart. It's a great way to any person's heart, man or woman, to be honest. Carlos says, space engineers, the place I became a Karogan. You know, Carlo, I am so tempted. Thomas Potts is putting up these clips. If guys have not subscribed to Thomas Potts, you should. He's been putting up clips of me playing Space Engineers. He's promised to put up more clips of me playing Space Engineers next week as a countdown to my birthday on Friday. And I'm very, very tempted to reinstall Space Engineers. But I wasted so much time in that game. Resolute Germs is much better. Thank you, Bird. Great to hear, Resolute. Eastland Burkholder says Sassy is smart. She will adapt. Absolutely. Carlo Albanese says, thanks, Bird of Prey. Broke my bone in my hand. Oh, man. Hope Mamo Prey is feeling better and love to everyone. Thank you, Carlo. She is feeling much better than when she went into the hospital. Still, not a long way from being able to do what she used to, but a lot better. Bradley Briggs says, which bone isn't there? There's a lot of bones in your hand. Carlos says, it's one of the bottom of my thumb. Oh, the thumb. That's a bad bone to break. Bradley Briggs says, also hope you heat up fast. You heat up fast. Heal up fast. Heal up fast to Carlo. Derek McManus, Qapla Derek, says, hail Bird and chat. Hope everyone is well. Well enough, although we've got a broken bone, we got a busted leg, we got Mamo Prey on the mend, and I'm sure plenty of other issues. In addition to all the pain and chronic problems the rest of us, we all have. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey, I want the title of Enemy of Karoga. I don't know. I don't know if you deserve the title of Enemy of Karoga. Kronos says, how is Mamo Prey? I'm pretty sure you've heard the answer by now, Kronos. Good to see you. LDG says, thank you to Thomas. Kronos says, oh crap, Starship Down. I feel like there should be an exclamation point after this title. It should be Starship Down! Exclamation point. I don't know. Bradley Briggs says, loss of the use of your thumb has to suck. I hope it's not that bad. Well, they say you shouldn't suck on your thumb, so. Bad joke. Bad joke. Thomas says, Kronos, you can't say crap on YouTube. Kronos says, gummy bears were never to be hot. We're never supposed to be hot. I assume is what he means. Poop that. Derek McMahon says, sorry, Joe, that's not an Irish accent. I think I'm getting quite a bit of an Irish accent. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Kronos says, my fingers have a mind of their own. Thomas says, Kronos is banned from using a exclamation point. Kronos is Bird of Prey, you have accents. Of course I do. And Kronos says, son of a bitch. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, God Emperor of Karoga, can we all have a good week next week, please? I'll get the orphan miners working quantum shift if we do. I will do my best, Carlo. Obviously, we are going to have a fantastic week next week because Friday is the God Emperor himself's birthday. I will be 42 years old. That is halfway to 84, which is, of course, the date on the shirt I'm wearing today. What were the chances of that happening? I didn't plan for that. I did not plan for that. But yep, Reagan Bush 84. Read it and weep. You see? Now I'm only going to promote elections that have already happened, so I know the outcome. It's like time travel. Anyway. So yes, we're gonna have a good week, Carlo. Be a good week next week. Derek says Kronos good for evening. Kronos says hey to Derek. Star Trek Nitpicker says best to Mamo Prey. Thank you, Nitpickers. Robert Rose Jr. says hello today, Berto Prey, Mamo Prey, and Sassy. This election is turning out to be a big mess. Yes, well, we kinda knew that was gonna happen. Although yeah, I guess it is gonna be a mess. I was gonna say, on one hand, I just think it probably isn't. But yeah, there was so much that's happened already. I don't even know. At this point, I'd say it certainly looks like somebody who's currently president is not winning. But with all what's going on, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? I'm not even going to attempt to call the race. The only race I'll call was Reagan Bush 84, and I'm pretty sure Reagan Bush won. Kronos' Sassy needs to fly away. Aroo! Resolute says, don't let here Irish O'Prey. You'll need to start all over again with a new one. Yeah. Derek McManus says, Kronos, I have an interesting past, but not as quite as interesting as Gaddock. Kronos says, Derek, you aren't a Cardassian? Question mark. Derek says, Kronos, I'm an Ulsterman. I'm an Ulsterman. Carlo Albanese says, link for Thomas Potts, please. I don't think I'm subscribed. Thomas, please put in your link to your channel, Thomas. 47 Yorktown says, can you imagine, freaking YouTube took away the ability to just click on the dots and go to somebody's channel. Goddamn YouTube. 47 Yorktown, sorry about that, said, hello, young sir. Welcome, 47 Yorktown. Resolute says, wait, your birthday is Friday the 13th. Yes, it is, but 13 is a lucky number in Karoga. So don't worry about it. Thomas says, Bird of Prey, we spend so much time on Space Engineers that the most hours of game I played on Steam, and it's been months since I've played. I'm not surprised. Probably the same for me. And YouTube has just donated $1. And we got the Charlie baby, the happy baby super chat. And says, Dear Kronos, in 5 minutes your account will be deleted for too much use of the exclamation point. That is some tough words from YouTube, Kronos. If I was you, I would try to start making a new account. Dr. Scotty says, great to see you. Good to hear Mama Prey's home. Wishing you guys the best. Thank you, Dr. Scotty. Qapla. Thomas says, Bird of Prey is a very submarine type episode. I wonder what Darren thinks of it. Kronos says, what is Garfield doing in the vacuum of space? He's hanging on. He's hanging on. Carlo Albanese says, I can't play Space Engineers at the moment. I can't play anything. I'm sorry, Carlo. I'm so sorry. I've got to skip to the at Bird of Prey 5s. Is everything okay? It's okay? Okay. I heard noises. Captain, I got to skip the Bird of Prey 5s because we got to get started on this episode. Captain Trex says, Bird of Prey, of course you have accents. They all suck. That's okay. I can take it. Not Ryan Johnson. Says, Bird of Prey. Bird of Prey. Wow, you're going to be half as old as Anti-Trekker. Absolutely. Actually, I'd probably be a third the age of Anti-Trekker. Derek says 42. I'm 48. As the critical drinker says, nah, it will be fine. I never heard the critical drinker say that. I'll be honest, I don't listen to him too much, but I have listened to him. Kronos is so much cheating. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, I provided the time travel work last week when I went back in time, left a message on Jedi Bill 797 Somniacs 2. We should sell tickets. Yes, I saw that, Carlo. It was amazing. That was amazing. Resolute Germs is all this election BS. Be sure it makes you appreciate the nice, simple dictatorship of Kuroga. Exactly. We don't have to deal with this election garbage where you don't know who the leader is going to be in a week or a month or 2 months or 4 years. As long as I'm here, it's going to be me. And one day it will be Nephew O'Prey. That baby was like, what the what? Says Kronos. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, why are you on a pad? Because I didn't know what else to put myself on. I didn't know what else to put myself on, Kronos. Oh, sassy girl. Somebody's walking past the house, sassy. Dee Dee Myers says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, 5. How are you and your family doing? I am so happy Mama Prey is out of his home and hoping and praying that Mama Prey will have a speedy recovery and a wonderful and relaxing day. Pray, family. Thank you so much, Dee Dee Myers. So far, so good. Your prayers are being answered. My prayers are being answered. Mama Prey's prayers are being answered. And, things are doing pretty decent. Saul Leibowitz, Qapla. Saul says, Qapla, Bird of Prey. Enjoy Deep Space Nine. I can't join today, but I'll be with you in spirit. Thank you, Saul. I will see you next time then. Thank you for coming by. Kronos says, Aru? Yes, as he was Aruing. Carlos says, what happened to the chat box? Son of a bitch. The goddamn chat box isn't working. God damn it. Why won't you work? Why won't you work? I don't know. I don't know why the chat box refuses to work. It's got a mind of its own. Thomas is Bird of Prey. What about putting yourself on Sisko's computer? I can think about it going forward. I can think about Kronos says, long live the Empire. Well, the Klingon Empire for sure. Or the Kurogan Empire. Either one. Either one. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started watching this episode. Where's Yosef? Where's Yosef? Yosef. Where is Yosef? I gotta... You around. We miss you. Okay. Anyway. Carl Albanese says, I say that to my thingy all the time. Oh, wait, you meant the chat box. Forget what I said. Oh, okay. Yosef is here. He's cooking, but he is listening. He is listening. Thank you. Thank you, Yosef. I'm glad to know that you're back. He has family coming over tomorrow, so he has to get the place ready. I didn't know. I guess they got their COVID test, so they're allowed to walk around. Good. Glad to hear it, Yosef. Glad to hear it. So with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to the Bird of Prey 5 screening room. The address is, of course, right there on the in the place. And I'm going to shut off the computer audio so that you guys don't hear it. And we're going to get ready to watch. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Of course, you would never sacrifice yourself. Why? Why should I sacrifice myself? That's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Okay, so the screen is ready. We're 6 seconds there. I'm going to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. 1, 2, 5, 6. Okay. So they're in a remote system in the Gamma Quadrant to assist with something about a recent trade agreement. When they said the Dominion wouldn't tolerate direct trade with the Federation, And so they're using the Ferengi as intermediaries to do business with the Federation. They're finding there's very little profit in doing business with the Federation. To apply with all these commerce clauses, there's all these taxes and fees. It's just not worth it. And he says, for example, there was a 4% surcharge added to inspect the cargo for changeling infiltrator. And a 6% tariff to help offset the loss of Tekelian sheep herders. So Quark says they are noble people. You have to feel for them. So basically, Quark added all these taxes and fees to this thing. Yeah. So Quark added all these taxes and fees, making it impossible for this alien species to do trade with the Federation. Okay, so we move to the bridge. I don't know, a person we've never seen before comes up and tells Worf these are the response times. Worf says they're not acceptable, and she's like, we're doing better than we've ever done. And Worf is like, you got to do better. So now Dax and Kira are speaking, and Dax offers her some cake, and Kira's like, oh, I'm fasting. It's the 1 year, it's the anniversary, not the 1 year. It's the anniversary of the emissary's arrival. So they fast to show their thanks to sending the emissary to them. So I don't know, is this 3 years? Is 4 years? It's the 4th season. Is this 4? I guess they're Bajoran years, so God knows how long has actually passed. 2 ships have just entered sensor range. Carlo Albanese says UK is in lockdown in 2 hours' time. Carlo, enjoy your final 2 hours. Oh, here we go. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Jadzia is spelt with a J. You know it. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Starship down! No exclamation point. So they're being targeted, the Jem'Hadar. He says if he assumes full responsibility, they may spare his ship. Sisko says he's not going to turn him over. This is Captain Sisko of the USS Defiant, or stand down, and they get shot. He's returning fire. And the other ship's coming about. Says he's telling the other guys to tell his ships to hold position. The Karama are not responding to the hails. Aren't the Karama also a species in the Orville? So the Defiant's going to intercept. And So the Karaman ships are trying to get into the atmosphere. The Class J gas giant. Wind speeds of 10,000 kilometers per hour. He says 20 of his people are on that ship, and they're all going to die because he was foolish enough to defy the Dominion. Sisko says, not if he can help it. He's taken Sisko to O'Brien. He's taken the ship into the atmosphere. He's like, I know the ship wasn't built for it, but I think he can handle it. They're adjusting sealed geometry for atmospheric entry. And he's taking him in 5 seconds to atmosphere. So a ship built to destroy the Borg is now going into the atmosphere of a planet. Thomas is bird of prey. Oops, I meant 2 days. Thomas says, bird of prey, tomorrow will be the 25th anniversary of this episode's release. He means 2 days. Yes. November is scrolling across the top. November 6, 1995. They're holding altitude. They've only got 2 kilometers of sensor range. Dax has an idea of improving it, so she has to go to a different station to do it. So Sisko sends the alien guy back to the mess hall with a security guard that just goes with him like it's expected, like it should be. So the cloak is ineffective in the atmosphere. So Dax has an idea, but Kira has a trick she learned. Used just to hide in the Badlands. So an active scan system to navigate echolocation. Send a modulated tetryon pulse. Yes, the pulses will give away their position too. But you change course and speed after every one. Thomas Bott says, yeah, Curse of Oak Island is coming back. I'm sure they'll find the treasure this year. Yeah, one day, episode 14, season 32, they found the treasure. And the treasure was the show all along. Wouldn't that be wild? If the treasure they found at the bottom of Oak Island was the DVD set of the entire series of The Curse of Oak Island. So Quark and this alien guy are both in the mess hall. So Quark is saying he's going to pay them back with interest. He's saying you don't have the courage to admit you're a thief or whatever. He has no use for the Ferengi. The Ferengi are everything this species despise. Carlos's bird of prey is that traitor Odo. Him and Quark have great chemistry together in the episode. He grows with Quark and Odo from now on. I will be right back, guys. Sorry about that. I had to ask Mama Pray a question and take my pill, which you guys all watched. That's what happens when I usually mute the video and the audio. But we're back. So they had a bit of a fight. The Defiant is pretty damaged. They need to track her out to Qapla. So Sisko's asking how many atmospheric probes do they have. O'Brien says 2. And he says, could we put them in a quantum torpedo? And O'Brien says, yeah, we could do it. We'd have to take stuff out. Take about 20 minutes. Sisko says, you got 10. Because he knows that's what engineers do. Joseph Patrick says, Bird of Prey. The alien is the same actor who plays Zephyrin Cochrane in First Contact. I never would have known that. Thank you, Joseph. Chrono says, I would like to use a vacuum. I'm afraid to try. Don't go, Chronos. Don't go that way. You don't want to. So O'Brien sends another engineer down to the torpedo bay to work on the probes. He says he wants a dualytic inverter. He's telling all the engineers what to do, because O'Brien knows how to speak to engineers because he's an engineer. Chrono says, I would like to use it. No, don't do the vacuum. Don't do it. He should have. Chrono says, ouch. I should have listened. Oh, Chronos. Robert Rose Jr. says, so Bird of Prey, 5 more states have legalized recreational marijuana. Yes, Robert, including New Jersey. Right next door, New Jersey. I hope it gets all the potheads out of New York City and they all head to New Jersey so they can all light up over there and live happily ever after in Potland. Thomas is Chronos, do the Momo. No Momo challenge. So the Defiant is falling apart. They're sealing the bulkhead. Oh no, Jadzia's there. He's like, hurry, hurry. And Jadzia's bringing other people. And oh no, the force field failed. Jadzia is getting caught in the poison gas. The force field is down. They're ordering the doctor to close the hatch. He's like, but Jadzia's still in there. He's saying, doctor, it's an order. Julian, she's calling out his name, Julian. So the doctor closes the hatch, but runs into the hatch. And then he takes Dax, he pulls Dax, and he gets her into this small closet that has no apparent function on the ship, except to be a place where they can run to if a poison gas is coming into the ship. And the door even got stuck a little, but apparently it has pressure-sensitive buttons. So if you press a little harder on the button, the door moves a little further, a little quicker. And the comm systems are down. So even though we know that those comm badges have a signal range that don't require the starship's comm system to work, they're not able to communicate with anybody. So Dax and Bashir are now in the closet alone together. Dax did fix the ship, so they are able to get altitude and the ship won't crash. So they've got some torpedoes. So now he's looking for the Kalaman ship, and he's looking for the Jem'Hadar ships. And Quark is in the mess hall, and he can feel that they're gaining altitude. His lobes, he can tell. He says, usually when somebody has the lobes, it means they have a keen business sense. He says, I admit you had me fooled. He said, I thought you were an easy mark. You saw right through him. And he taught him a thing or two about doing business in the Gamma Quadrant. He says, I guess I've gotten lazy, says Quark. He's used to dealing with the Federation. If you thought I was cheating you, you have no idea what he was doing to the Federation. And they still haven't caught on. He's like, if it was me, someone like me can put one over on them. Think of like someone like you could pull on them. He's like, someone with my lobes. Like, exactly. You're just the one to do it. You could be get rich beyond your dreams. So the guy says to Quark that he's despicable. He doesn't want to cheat anybody. Okay, his race is based on honest and fair business relations. So they've got one Jem'Hadar ship on sensors. Worf says they must have split and searched for the Qapla. So Kira knows where it is. You know, Sisko says to come about. Kira asks if Sisko thinks the Jem'Hadar detected them. He doesn't know, but he wants to make it harder on them. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey in Enterprise or TOS. In the comm system went down. The ship used a communicator and it worked. Yeah. It should still work. By all logic, the communicator should work. There is no logic where the communicators don't work. But whatever. So they're going to shoot the probe with the warhead, but if it doesn't find anything within 50 kilometers, it could turn back and destroy the Defiant. But Sisko says something tells them they're closer than we think. Fire. So they shoot the probe, and right behind them is a Jem'Hadar ship. It caught shooting at them. I guess it sensed the firing of the probe. Sisko's injured. The bridge is blowing up. There's metal things falling from the sky. Rocks are being blown out of the control panels. And the torpedo magically turns around and hits the ship that was behind the Defiant, destroying it in one shot. So engineering has been knocked about. Comms are down all over. O'Brien can't get to the bridge. Save your breath. O'Brien doesn't think there's anybody left alive on the bridge. It's up to him now. Kronos is poor Garfield. Garfield's okay. He's okay. He hangs on really good. Kronos is now saying, happy, happy, joy, joy. So now Kira has crawled onto Captain Sisko to check how he is. The other random woman, we don't know, is checking for some dead people. Worf is taking command, trying to put lights, trying to get to the engine room. Voice and lights are offline. Actually, one of the few times we don't see lights in Star Trek. Even emergency lights. So Sisko took a blow to the head or something. Kira needs a med kit. Sisko's in bad shape. Bridge systems are completely offline, says Worf. Jeff is depressed too. I'm sorry you're depressed, Jeff. What was Cinnabon happy about? I missed it. He's got a concussion, says Kira. There's cranial bleeding. They need a medic. So the systems are down. The random woman is going to go below and try to find somebody to help. The door is stuck. Worf is forcing it open. Kira says if he loses consciousness, he'll fall into a coma, and she doesn't want to risk using a stimulant on him. So Worf says, keep talking to him. Worf is going to go attempt to reach the engine room and take control over from there. So Worf is now clearly in charge of the Defiant, even though Kira is the first officer. For some reason, command has fallen to Worf. And don't get me wrong, I'm not upset at that by any means. I just don't understand the logic and how command falls to Worf instead of to Kira. But that's fine. Worf is on his way to the engine room. Kira is going to try to keep Sisko alive. So Kira's like, it's very important you listen to me. because there's going to be a test later. And Sisko, I think, puts out a little bit of a laugh. So at least she knows that she can hear him, that he can hear her. Okay, so Bashir has stopped assaulting Dax enough to ask her how she's feeling. Now she's waking up. And he says, your lungs are filled with fluorine. He says, tell her to hold her breath next time. She said, I take it we're stuck here. He said, oh, it's a turbo lift shaft. Oh, he tried to she tried to climb up the turbo lift shaft, but it's filled with gas. He said we should stay put, wait for somebody to get us. He says, the comm system can't cut through the interference. They probably don't even know we're here. Oh, so they only have a few hours of breathable air. So they're going to probably die of suffocation. She said, funny, if you did this a year ago, I thought you were just trying to be a hero. She's like, now that she knows him better, she realizes it was just a really stupid thing for him to do to save her life. He says, you're welcome. And he laughs it off. Resolute says, Kira's in no shape to take command. Her Messiah is dying right in front of her. Nitpicker says, it's a Starfleet ship. Kira can't be in command. We've seen in previous episodes Kira take command of the Defiant before Worf has come on board. I was questioned it then, so I know it's happened. So the Qapla, whatever the hell they are, believe that all merchandise has a set value that is determined by the value of what's the goods made to create it, and labor, and a reasonable transportation cost, and a reasonable profit. So he says, Quark is like, what about greed? He says, greed leads to misjudgment. Your way is just barter. If you want to win big, you've got to be able to take a risk, play the odds. It's like gambling. And he says, gambling is the last refuge of the desperate. Only a fool would risk losing what they have the chance. Quark is like, yeah. So Worf comes in through, I don't know, a door or a hatch or something. And O'Brien's like, I'm glad to see you. So Worf is like, I'll take command from here. He's like, who configured these helm controls? Says Worf. He says, it's probably Angel. Yeah. So Worf yells at the guy and says that these aren't standard configuration of controls. He needs to be able to take control in a glance. And he tells them to reconfigure it. And Worf is being very short with everybody. And so I'll be right back. So Sisko's asking why, that they only talk about work. So that's why Kira can't figure out anything to talk to him about but work. So Kira realizes that it's not that way between Sisko and Dax, or him and Chief O'Brien, but they're not. He's not a revered figure in their religions. So she realizes that it's different with her. He's like, I know you don't like it when they talk about you as the emissary, but it's how she thinks of him. She says, maybe that's why sometimes it's hard to relax around him. But you know what? She's going to learn. So he says, Nerys, tell me a story, Nerys. Tell me a story. Kronos says, oh, hey, Bird of Prey. First contact didn't suck. I agree, Kronos. I agree, Kronos. Poor Sisko is being forced to be a friend, says Carlo. I don't know he's being forced. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, Sisko. So there's collie farmers, and they go into a field and they see this biggest thing they've ever seen. It's as big as a house. They decide to sell it in the city. I don't know if we ever get the moral of the story. Kronos says, I call them space-time aliens, bird of prey. Oh. There's things closing fast, too small to be ships. And O'Brien's like, torpedoes! And so Worf orders hard to port. And he said something about the deflectors. They'll confuse their guidance system. They missed one. The second one is still closing. 100 meters. So go hard to starboard. They're listening. They're listening. They're not doing anything. 50. It hit them. It hit them. The ship rocked, but they didn't die. Something happened. Why didn't they try to at least move? And there's this photon torpedo warhead sticking through the mess hall wall. If the mess hall is on the exterior of the ship, why isn't there a window? I'm just curious. Because it's stronger that way? Maybe. It just seems like a bad opportunity to miss, you have a window in the mess hall. So Quark says that we've got to disarm it. The other guy says we should wait for help. He's like, what if no one can get to us? It's up to them. It's up to them. Quark says it's up to them. Quark is going to be the hero. There must be an emergency toolkit around somewhere, says Quark, because he's no idiot. He knows he's on a Starfleet vessel. And he points out the guy. He says the arming mechanism. He takes off his jacket, his coat, just to be more dramatic. We got to remove the casing. The alien's like, how? And Quark's like, there's no lock. That can't be picked. Kronos says, hey, murder fleets. Holy smokes. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, isn't that the story based on a real world story? Possibly. Not one I've heard of. So Worf says, I'm aware of the situation. If you cannot follow my orders, I'll find someone who can. And the guy looks at O'Brien. O'Brien looks back at him, and the guy says, it won't be necessary, sir. So now O'Brien comes up to Worf, because he's good old friends with Worf. He says, can I have a word with you, sir? And Worf's like, of course, you were good old friends. He says, with all due respect, I think you're riding the men a bit hard. You have to understand, they're out of their element. They're not bridge officers. They haven't been to Starfleet Academy. They're engineers. They're used to be given a problem to solve. So Worf is like, what are you suggesting? They give them a little slack. These are brains. Let them do what they're good at. How have they not been to Starfleet Academy? Are you telling me the engineers don't go to Starfleet Academy? That's ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. The greatest engineering minds in the world probably go to Starfleet Academy. Why do engineers get to skip Starfleet Academy? You telling me none of those people are officers? Geordi went to Starfleet Academy. Scotty went to Starfleet Academy. I don't know. It's weird. So now Bashir is admitting to Dax that he had a fantasy that he had to rescue her and that they'd be trapped together somewhere. And Dax is like, well, you just came on so strong. And now they're cold, and Bashir gets to warm Dax up. It's his fantasy. You sound disappointed. That you've enjoyed being chased and now you miss it. Dax is like, that's preposterous. If you start chasing after her again. Thomas is bird of prey, but the O'Brien becomes a professor of engineering at the academy. Oops. Spoiler alert. Yeah, that line always bugged me in this episode. Although I do like that Worf changes tactics and he says he needs a weapon. He needs something else, one atmospheric probe. So he says the phasers are out of the question. He says, but the phaser emitters are fine. So they're saying the deflector array, because of course, when phasers don't work, you always go to the deflector array. He says, it'll only give you one shot. Worf says, I only need one shot. The 20 minutes, 10 if you bypass the safeties. Worf says, proceed. So they're happy. They're all happy now because he gave them a problem to solve. They're happy. They're so happy. They're doing their jobs. Those people on the ship are dying and God knows what's going to happen. But he made 2 engineers really happy. O'Brien gives him a nod like, yeah, you did good. And he looks at O'Brien. He's like, thanks for the tip. So Kira is talking to Sisko about how they start fighting about how they divide the money for the Qapla route. Somebody says they wanted more money because it was their idea to sell it. Someone else says, no, they want more money because they were the one who tilled the soil. And now Kira's yelling at him that this can't happen. You can't die. You're the emissary. There's so much more for you to do. Where's Cinnabon? People keep saying hello to Cinnabon, but I don't see Cinnabon. Springtime, says Bird of Prey. How's it going? Hopefully puppies helped. It did, springtime. I said earlier in the stream, if you were here, I guess you weren't. I saw the puppies. Thank you. She's going to pray. She doesn't know what else to do. She can't let that happen. There's Cinnabon Bunny. Hello, Cinnabon Bunny. So she's going to pray over the emissary, pray to the prophet that they protect the Sisko. I don't know the words of the prayer. Carlo Albanese says Cinnabon is ace. That they can, it's all done. They can target the deflector. Worf says, good work, take your post. They're all happy. Mr. O'Brien, nothing in scanning range. He says the Jem'Hadar out there, you can be certain of it. So keep scanning. Scan harder. Scan harder, O'Brien. And there we see a menacing Jem'Hadar ship come out of the clouds. Quark is like, be careful. Be careful. They found a way into the torpedo. Cinnabon says Wes is a troublemaker. Thomas says, wow, Bird of Prey blocked Cinnabon. I'm sure Wesley told you to. No, I didn't. So this guy knows how the torpedo works. He says he saw a design schematic once. And Quark says, where? He says at the Ministry of Trade. They sell those torpedoes to the Jem'Hadar. Quark says, I thought you said you never sold substandard merchandise. He says, this was supposed to explode on impact. And the guy realizes, he finally says, maybe I should offer them a refund. And he starts laughing. Now they're both laughing. Yay, the first interspecies joke between the Ferengi and the Calamar. Now they realize, they remember what situation they're in. So she's like, what do you know about this torpedo? Then they start laughing again. Carlo Albanese says, wow, aren't my spellings that bad today, Bird of Prey? Borged ice turrets. That's probably my fault, most of them, Carlo. It's probably a problem with my reading, not your writing, typing. Cinnabon says they'd be fine if the Defiant had blast doors. Absolutely. It's 50-50. Better odds than at the Dabo table. He's like, Dabo? What the hell's Dabo? He's like, it's a game. Remind me when we get out of this. I'll teach it to you. So he has the other guy choose one. He's like, how? He's like, it's a gamble. Just go with your instincts. So blast doors work well on the Enterprise. So the guy's thinking, Quark says, you're thinking too much. You just got to reach in and pick one. So Quark did it. He pulled it out real quick, and it worked. It disarmed. And he did it. He says, I think we have a winner. The light went off in the torpedo, and they're now safe. The guy's holding his heart. He's like, that was exciting. Like, it feels good, doesn't it? It's like, yes. And Quark is like, that's how it works. The risk. The better the risk, the better the win. He's going to corrupt an entire species. He's like, there's another risk you could take. Stay in business with me. He says, you never give up, do you? Quark laughs. He says, no. He tried to cheat him and he lost. But it doesn't mean you give up the game. He says, come on, Anik, what do you say? You want to keep playing. He says, let's talk about those Bolian currency fluctuations. So why would Bolians have their own currency if they're a member of the Federation? I guess it's like the UK being a member of the EU, but keeping their currency until they left the EU or leave the EU. I don't know which is the correct. Did they leave yet? I'm not sure, officially. Jeff says, Kronos, you're just a simulation. Wow. So he's asking what happened to the three brothers. They gave all their money away and went back to the farm where they were born. Wow, what a disappointing ending. Why didn't they keep all the money and agree to split it between them? So, okay. So O'Brien's got a Jem'Hadar ship on scanners. So they're telling it to stand by. So the Defiant, they left a probe out there with a fake signature, pretending to be the Defiant. And now the Defiant comes out of the clouds and zaps, gives a big long blast, sustained shot to the Jem'Hadar, and destroys the ship. And the engineers are like, yeah. So O'Brien's like, let's say we find the Qapla and get out of here. And now Worf is doing the Defiant log, supplemental. And medics are tending the injured, and there's Bashir and Dax alive. The Qapla ship is that have to be abandoned, but they'll have to be taken back to Deep Space Nine. Transportation be arranged. And then a Starfleet guy comes to the mess hall to fix the hole in the wall, I assume, and they see the torpedo. And Quark and the alien are high-end business negotiations. Now they're back on the station, and Quark is teaching the guy Dabo. He's like, too bad you lose half your stake. You can either quit now or try to double it. Odo's in this episode. He says, Odo says his advice is take what he has and walk away. And the alien says to Odo, just because you lose a bet doesn't mean you quit the game. And that's exactly what Quark told him. So he's putting it all on triple over. Quark says, that's a big mistake. And he's like, nothing personal, Quark, triple over. And Quark is worried. And it's triple over, Dabo. You're really catching on, says Quark. Odo is laughing. He's happy. He's happy Quark lost a little money there. I mean, in the scheme of things, Quark lost nothing, let's be honest. Oh, and Morn is talking to Dr. Bashir. 17 brothers and sisters. Says, that's quite a family, says Bashir. So Dax cuts in and tells Bashir it's his turn. And he's like, for what? And she gives the darts to Bashir. He says, that's right, for darts. He's like, it's been nice talking to you. So he's thanking her for rescuing him from Morn. And now they're even because he rescued her from certain death. Oh. So now Worf and O'Brien are talking at Odo's, and one of the engineers is coming with the repair schedule for Defiant. And he's giving him a very detailed report. And Worf just says, proceed at your own discretion. He says, thank you, sir. And O'Brien says, how long is it going to take you to do it? He's like, 16 hours. And O'Brien says, oh, you can do it in 12. He says, yeah, 12. We'll do it. Okay. So O'Brien says, see, you can give him a little slack, but you can't take your hands off the reins. And Sisko's perfectly fine. That the ship is going to be here in, I don't know, a few hours. The Defiant will be ready to escort them to the Gamma Quadrant. And so now it occurred to Sisko that they should go to a 4-shift rotation, which is one of the things that Kira was telling him when he was first knocked unconscious. And so Sisko's asking what she's up to. She said she's going off duty. So he said, do you want to come to a baseball game with me? And she'd love to. She'd love to. Because it's time that they get to spend some time together as friends instead of as an emissariat relationship. I don't know what the term would be called. He says, Norris, and he throws her a baseball hat. She'll need one of those. He says, you can get hot dogs from Quark. He'll know. He's like, what's a hot dog? Like, he'll know. She could also get hot dogs from any replicator on the station. I'm just saying. So we got a nice, good episode ending. Everybody's wearing baseball hats. The Ferengi and the Calamar became friends. Ferengi, Worf. Wow, it's one of those days. Quark has corrupted one of the Calamar into gambling and deceit. Worf has learned how to talk to engineers. Somehow there's an entire pack of 15 engineers on the Defiant at any given time. I don't think we ever see them again, but they're there. They don't go to Starfleet Academy, but they're just as smart as everyone else. I don't know. This was a really good episode, but it doesn't really mesh well with later episodes. And I do like that it did cement Worf as the backup commander of the Defiant. That even if Kira is on the Defiant, Worf takes command. Most of the time, Kira, Sisko, and Worf shouldn't be on the same ship. Kira, by all rights, Kira should have stayed on Deep Space Nine, right? Because she's the first officer. The captain and the first officer shouldn't leave a ship. They shouldn't leave a space station at the same time on the same away mission. So, by all rights, Kira should have been left on Deep Space Nine, or Kira should have been in charge of the Defiant, and then Worf would have gone with either Sisko or Kira on the Defiant. That's how it should have been. It wasn't what we got, but you know what? We'll deal with it. It's not the worst thing in the world by any means. Trono says, oh no, I have to keep watching this show, Bird of Prey. Only if you want to keep following what goes on, Kronos. Only if you want to follow what goes on. Resolute Germ says, they leave in the new year. Kronos says, what flavor is Garfield gummy-wise? I'd say it's probably orange with a touch of licorice. Orange licorice. Kronos says, yeah, you don't have to keep watching. You don't have to keep watching. William Jackson is a great lead into a few episodes. Yeah, we've got good episodes. Do I still have them up? No, I don't. I don't have them up. But this whole season, season 4, is good episode after good episode. So I'm quite looking forward to the future. Next week, hopefully, and the weeks after. We'll have a good time. Now, this Friday, if you want to skip towards the end of Deep Space Nine, of course, check out LDG's stream on Friday, and it'll get you to the end and the Dominion War arc. Dee Myers says, cool episode. Bird of Prey, thanks for airing it. Wonderful choice. Well, Dee, we're doing every episode in order, so it really wasn't a choice. It was just the next episode in the line. If we had a terrible episode in line for today, we'd be watching a terrible episode. Luckily, there are very, very few terrible episodes of Deep Space Nine. Almost all of them are already behind us. So it's clear sailing in front. Crow says, holy Schmidt, you are up to 37-ish. That's pretty cool. Thank you guys all for coming here and enjoying it. But we are now at the end of the episode, and I do have to get back to some stuff going on here. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you everybody who's helped with the donations, with the thank you to the channel members. Your names at the beginning of the episode, all the channel members and Subscribe Star members scroll across the top of the screen. But again, another thank you to all of you as well. There is a GoFundMe donation to help with some of the expenses that are coming from Mama Prey's hospitalization and the subsequent help we need for her. Any help would be appreciated. And thank you also all the well wishes, all the prayers, all the kind words, all the people that have called, checked, tweeted, posted, linked, and did whatever else asking how Mama Prey is. Thank you. She is doing okay. I am, only my superstition prevents me from saying, she's not, she's by no means recovered. Okay. And I don't want to say that recovery is certain or guaranteed, because nothing in life is guaranteed. I'm not guaranteed to wake up in the morning. Okay. Nothing in life is guaranteed, but I feel so much better than I did 3 or 4 days ago. And much of that has to do, so many of you put in sincere words of support. Several of you prayed and just sent the strongest possible positive energy you could. And as weird as that sounds, I know there's something to it. I think I've told you the story one day of when I was sick. I was in the hospital. I was near death. I was in the coma, and my parents found somebody who practiced a form of sending curing energy. And that night, the light that was above my bed in the ICU, that was lit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 7 straight months. At the time the guy said he was doing the procedure, he wasn't at the hospital, he was remote. But at the minute he said he was going to start it, that light started blinking. And it started blinking, and it blinked for several minutes inexplicably, and then it stopped and it was solid again. I have no idea. I have no explanation for it. I witnessed it. Sisko Prey witnessed it. And I started getting better. I didn't get fully recovered, but I turned a corner. I started getting better. The fever broke. The fever I'd had for months broke. And it's weird. Something out there. There's something there. And I know there are atheists out there that say prayers are useless. I can't say that the prayers are being answered by God, or is it the way the multiverse works? I mean, Scott Adams, the author of Dilbert, wrote a book, and I read it many years ago, and he had a theory that while it's not quite prayer, that if you repeat something to yourself, it helps guide you through a multiverse where what you're repeating to yourself is more likely to come true. And maybe it's that. I don't know. I'm just saying it all helps. It's I'm not ignoring, I love it. And I thank everybody. And even if you don't think it's helpful, you know what? I'd appreciate it if you said a prayer or just made a wish for Mama Pray to get well soon, make full recovery. And that would be really, really appreciated. So thank you so much. Thank you to all the people in the chat. Thank you to all the channel members, subscribers. Carlo Albanese says, thanks, Bird of Prey, and hopes everyone has a wonderful night. Thank you, Carlo. Qapla, Joseph Patrick, Qapla. Where are we? Kronos says, you rock, Bird of Prey, and Mama Prey as well. I'm not there all the time. I'm still thinking of you all. Thank you, Kronos, and we miss you. When you're not here, Kronos, we do miss you. Todd Jenny says, hello, Bird of Prey 5. Hope you are well. Thoughts and best wishes to Mama Pray. Thank you so much, Todd. Good to see you. Your name appears new here, so I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see everybody, but especially new names. Good to see. Pflugerville says it's not a tuna. Okay. And Chrono says, and now, Bird of Prey, you are here for us. And I thank you all for us, even if you don't realize you help us all. Thank you, Carlo. I appreciate it. I'm not sure how I help you all, but you know what? I'm glad I do. Qapla. Oh, you're T-Berg. Todd Jenny is T-Berg. Thank you so much, T-Berg. Qapla all, guys. And let me put this light back on, the sound back on, and bird out. Qapla. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything BirdoPrey5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.